Hello and welcome to Enroll. In this class, we'll check out the next important 5 marks question, average cost and marginal cost. That is SAQ 20. Explain the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. Okay, so this is also one of the very frequently asked board exam question, both for 5 marks as well as for 2 marks. Okay, now what is the meaning of average cost? Cost per unit of output is known as average cost. So that is how do you calculate average cost? AC is equal to TC, that is total cost, divided by Q. Q is the output. TC is total cost. Q is the output. That is the average cost. So that's what the cost per unit of output. That is what is known as the average cost. Or there is another way of calculating. AC is equal to AFC plus AVC. AFC is average fixed cost and AVC is the average variable cost. So together fixed cost and variable cost together they constitute the average total cost, that is average cost. Okay, normally we say AC, that means average total cost. And what is marginal cost? Just like marginal utility and all, the additional cost to the total cost. By producing one more unit of outputs, some more cost is incurred by the producer. So whatever the addition made to the total cost is the marginal cost. So that is the additional cost to the total cost incurred due to the additional output produced. That is a marginal cost. So what is the formula for marginal cost? MC is equal to delta TC divided by delta Q. So what is delta here? Change in total cost divided by change in quantity. Okay, or another formula, MC is equal to total cost of n units of commodity minus total cost of n minus 1 units of commodity. So you can see that both average and marginal cost, they are derived from total cost. That itself is one kind of relationship. Average cost is total cost divided by output. Marginal cost is change in total cost divided by change in output. Okay, now the main relationship between average cost and marginal cost, we can explain it easily with the help of a diagram. Okay, that's what the relationship between AC and MC can be explained with the help of a diagram. So you can see the diagram here, and if you know the shape of the cost curves, average cost and marginal cost, both SAC and SMC are U-shaped curves. See, if you check the diagram, you can see that output is measured in the x-axis and cost is measured in the y-axis. Now the cost curves will always be U-shaped. This is the shape of the cost curve. Now here it is output. X-axis we are representing the output and y-axis we are representing the cost. Now what do you infer from this? When the output keeps on increasing, so when the output keeps on increasing, the cost is declining initially. Initially cost is declining, it reaches the minimum point and afterwards it increases. Okay, so now this is the x-axis output and y-axis cost. Now what is happening? When the output keeps on increasing, this is the initial cost is high, and then this is 1 unit of output. When the output increases to 2 units, you can see that the cost is decreasing. When the output increases to 3 units, the cost is still decreasing. Okay, and then afterwards what is happening? When the output is increasing to 4 units, slowly the cost keeps on increasing. When the output is increasing to 5 units, again the cost, you can see that the cost keeps on increasing. So that means what? Up to 3 units the cost is decreasing. Up to 3 units the cost is decreasing. Beyond 3 units the cost starts increasing, isn't it? So that's why this is a U-shaped curve. Initially it decreases, reaches the minimum point, and then it starts increasing. So this is the shape of the cost curve. So what is this shape? This is U-shaped, isn't it? So that's what it is mentioned here. Okay, so the cost is the U-shaped curve. So both SAC and SMC are U-shaped curves. That is both the short-run average, SAC is short-run average cost, SMC is short-run marginal cost. Okay, so both the SAC and SMC, they both are U-shaped curves. That is both the short run average and marginal cost initially decline. So initially as the output is produced, it declines, okay, as the output expands, but beyond a certain level of output, both the costs start increasing, okay. This is why that's why it is a U-shaped curve. Now there is a let's find out what is the relationship here. But when both SAC and SMC are declining, SMC will be lesser than SAC, that is marginal cost is lesser than average cost. So you can see that, so this is the SAC, this is average cost, okay. SAC is the average cost, short run average cost, okay, and now this is SMC is the short run marginal cost. If you want, I will draw again. The shape of the average cost and marginal cost is here output, y-axis we are representing the cost, okay. Normally this will be the shape of average cost, it will be a proper U-shaped curve. So this is SAC, short run average cost. Now this is the minimum point of average cost, okay. It reaches the minimum point and then it starts increasing. The marginal cost is also U-shaped curve, but whenever we are drawing the marginal cost, we will draw like this, okay, like a tick mark. So it reaches the minimum point and then it exactly intersects at the minimum point of average cost. It intersects like this and then it keeps increasing. So this is SMC. Now in the diagram here, this is the point B and this is A. So B is the minimum point of marginal cost and A is the minimum point of average cost. So what you are observing, marginal cost reaches the minimum point before the average cost, okay, and afterwards it intersects the average cost at its minimum point and then it starts increasing as the output keeps on increasing. So this is the shapes of average cost and marginal cost. If you are not understanding, this is how it is drawn. Now what all you are finding here, initially they both are decreasing. Average cost is also decreasing, marginal cost is also decreasing, but at this point you can see that the marginal cost is lesser than average cost. So that is what here I have mentioned here, SMC is lesser than SAC. At this, when they, at what point, when they both are decreasing, here the average cost is also decreasing, the marginal cost is also decreasing. So when they both are decreasing, the marginal cost is lesser than average cost, okay, and then that is the first relationship. So that's what, when both SAC and SMC are declining, SMC will be lesser than SAC, okay, and then both average and marginal cost will be equal to each other when the average cost is minimum. In the diagram, SMC intersects SAC, that is SMC is equal to SAC at point A, which is the minimum average cost, okay. So if you see the diagram, you can see this is the minimum average cost. So in this diagram also here, so you can see that it starts rising at intersects at this minimum point, isn't it? So this is the minimum point where SMC is equal to SAC. This is the minimum point of average cost, okay. So that is the second, when initially when they both are decreasing, SMC is lesser than SAC, and then the SMC intersects the average cost when the average cost is minimum, okay. That is point A in the diagram. And afterwards what is happening, they both are increasing, both the SMC and SMC already started increasing and SAC will also start increasing. At this point what you are finding, the marginal cost is greater than average cost. So SMC is greater than SAC. So here at this point SMC is greater than SAC, isn't it? So when they both are falling, SMC is lesser than SAC. When they both are rising, SMC is greater than SAC, and they both are equal at the minimum point of average cost. So this is the relationship, okay. So when both SAC, third one, when both SAC and SMC are rising, that is beyond the minimum point of A, that is beyond the minimum average cost, SMC will be greater than SAC, that is SMC is greater than SAC, okay. Thus there is a unique relationship between average and marginal cost a firm which is operating at the minimum point of AC. It's very, very important. That is OQ in the diagram is said to be an ideal or an optimum firm. So this is, as far as the diagram is concerned, this is the OQ amount of output. So this is OQ is at the minimum point of average cost. So any firm, an ideal firm or optimum firm, should operate at its minimum point. So at this point only, the cost is the minimum and the output or the revenue is the maximum, the least cost production. So any ideal firm, if it wants to get the maximum profit, should operate at the minimum point of average cost. So that firm is called as an ideal firm or the optimum firm, which is the operating at the minimum cost of production. Okay. Now this is the importance of operating at the minimum point, and this is the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. Okay. As I mentioned, you can get both for 5 marks as well as for 2 marks. Okay. As usual, if you have any doubts, please mention in the comment box. So otherwise, if you find this video useful, please like, share and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Until my next class, take care. Bye bye.